Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to sit down and do a little review for you of the Ordinary concealers. These are relatively new, so why don't we go ahead and get into it. Okay, as we get started, I will say that these became available in January. I know when I got the email from The Ordinary, I immediately, pretty much within a day or two, jumped on, placed an order for myself. Because this, unlike a lot of new releases, I don't have access to them as quickly here in Sweden, but these I did, so I went ahead and placed an order, and it did arrive early February, so I've been using them for a couple weeks now. I know that I have used them at least 10 times, so just for reference, my review is based off more than 10 uses. I don't think I've used it 20 times yet, but probably closer to 15 if I'm being honest. But anyways, getting into the packaging, it comes in like a squeezy tube, and the price I believe is about $5.80 US dollars, and I believe it's also the same price in euros too, so that's what you can expect. You do get 8 mils in here, or 0.3 fluid ounces. Now I wanted to compare that size to a couple other ones. Now you get less product in the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. You get 5 mils, 8 mils in the Ordinary again. And another reference here that's in the same like measurement is 10 mils in Tarte Shape Tape, again 8 mils in this. Another point that I wanted to cover with these is that I ended up picking up the shades Fair Neutral and Light Neutral, and both of these are very light. I am going to insert some swatches of different shades that I have in my collection. These first two are the Ordinary concealers. This one's Fair Neutral and this one is Light Neutral. Then the next two are Tarte concealers in the shade Fair Light Neutral and Light Neutral. Then these next three are all kind of random concealers. We have Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in Fair Neutral, ColourPop No Filter Concealer in Light 10, and then the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define in the shade C5. And then the last two here are e.l.f. concealers. The first one is the Camo Concealer, the matte one, in the shade Light Sand, and then the other one is the Hydrating e.l.f. Concealer in the shade Light Beige. So hopefully those comparisons on those different shades help. I know I have like a decent variety of shades in my collection. Some of them I like to use for my face, some of them strictly for brightening, some of them to more closely match my skin tone. I'm someone who likes a wide variety of concealer because I use concealer quite a bit for multitasking purposes. Okay, before I give you like concise thoughts on this, I did try to film a couple days with different clips. I will insert some footage of me like wearing the concealer. I think it was like a full day wear test. Now this concealer, I will say, does crease on me, and it is a very dry looking concealer in my opinion. I should also add that as of late, my skin has been so dry. I have had a hard time liking my skin at the moment. Like everything that I put on pretty much makes me feel like I look dry, I look very old. My under eyes haven't always been that kind to me as of late, but I don't know what's up with that. I'm kind of chalking it up to like such a harsh winter, but be aware that the clips that you will see, you may see a good bit of like my wrinkles and that kind of thing showing. I have a good bit of wrinklage underneath my eyes just from genetics and sun damage, so you're gonna see that with these because this certainly doesn't do anything to help that kind of thing. And on another day, I have some clips to show you where I put the e.l.f. Camo Concealer on one side and the Ordinary Concealer on one side, and I mostly used the Light Neutral, that was the one I was testing out the most because that Fair Neutral shade is very light. But these two are probably the closer shades together, so I have e.l.f. on one side and the Ordinary on the other. And in my opinion and in my notes, I said that they look quite the same, like they look very similar. They provide pretty much the same level of coverage, but I have to say if I had to pick one that I like to work with a little bit better, it would probably be the e.l.f. one. I do think they're both a little bit on the drier side, but the e.l.f. one is easier to work with. Like once you lay it down, it doesn't dry down too fast. I honestly think the best way that I have to work with this Ordinary concealer is that put it down, blend it out, put it down, blend it out. If I like put it down, blend it out, and then go to blend out the other side's harder to like deal with because it's already drying down some. This is a dry concealer and it dries down very quickly. Okay, and for today, I actually did something a little different too. I have on one side of my face, I'm not gonna tell you which one, I have the Ordinary concealer, and on the other side, I have Tarte Shape Tape. Let me know in the comments which side of my face you think that it looks more like concealed. We'll say that this side, the side with more like hair swept to, this is my left side. And then this side over here is my right side. So in the comments, let me know, do you think my left side, this side over here, looks more like concealed, or do you think my right side looks more concealed? I'll zoom you in just a little bit so you can get a little bit of a closer look. All right, now we are zoomed in. Again, hopefully you can get a good close look. This again is my left side. This again is my right side. Let me know which one you think is a little bit better concealed. Do you see a difference at all? And we'll play a little fun guessing game. All right, now to spoil the guessing game, I actually did put the left side of my face, I have the Tarte Shape Tape on today, and my right side of my face, I did put the Ordinary concealer on. I did try to film some clips of me like applying it, and I think you'll be able to see, in my opinion, I don't know if it'll come across on camera very well, but again, Tarte Shape Tape, even though it's a little bit drier of a concealer, I find it's just a little bit easier, a little bit more creamy to work with, and then the Ordinary, you kind of have to work fast. Now, I do think you can kind of build coverage up. I did put extra coverage on, like you'll see in the clips. Okay, this is unset, but I'm going to try to build up a little coverage again, just a tad, with the Ordinary first. And now Tarte. And I'm just taking what's left of foundation and making sure that tries to blend in and doesn't look too stark. Okay, this is fully set with powder. I haven't done the rest of my makeup yet, but hopefully this is okay lighting enough. I find that despite like pretty much every concealer that I try looks dry on me, I still prefer something that's a little easier to work with, and I find that these just dry down a lot. Now, I think if you're someone who has little like aging showing in their skin like me, this concealer probably is not gonna be your friend. I could see this working pretty well for people with oily skin or people who do not have that much like wrinkling or anything. Every time that I've worn this concealer, I still see my under eye bags. And I don't know, it's just, I had high hopes going into this, and a little bit like, man, it would have been so nice for me to like put my Tarte Shape Tape to the side and be like, I found my new holy grail, and I don't feel like that happened with this concealer. It is okay, but I find that it's dry. It's gonna be usable. I'm gonna finish these tubes, but I probably want to play with mixing in something just to see if it maybe makes it a little bit easier to work with. Because again, these things dry down super quickly and they are not the easiest thing to work with. One last thing that I'll say before I close out this video, these are probably two of the darker concealers in my collection. This one I used mostly as like face kind of concealing, like spot concealing versus under eye concealing. And this one, I got my dad to send me the e.l.f. concealers because he was sending me my Christmas present over here. And I told him just to go to Walmart and get the lightest concealers that he could see in both of these. And this was the lightest shade available, and it was very dark as you saw in the swatches. And then this one was more like closely to something I would use to kind of brighten with. So this is too light, but these being these Ordinary shades being so light, I have not had a chance to try mixing them in with other concealers. And I know that this one, I don't love the Conceal and Define. I find it like emphasizes pores, so I don't really love that. So I'm kind of curious to see if maybe mixing these two will work for me. But I didn't want to include that in today's video because that's not what this review is about. It's not about a review of can you mix these two together. It's about the review for is this product in and of itself good. And then this guy here is newer to me and very dark, and I just haven't had a chance to really test it out yet. But yes, to close this video out, not full coverage enough for me, a little bit too drying, and I do find that it creases on me, although I will say that most concealers crease on me. I've never found one that doesn't crease on me, but yeah, not what I was hoping for. So if you're looking for this concealer, I would consider those things. And if you've tried this concealer, please let me know in the comment sections if it works for you, because I know it's so fun sometimes that makeup can work so differently on different people. So I'd be curious to know if you had a different concealer experience with this one, and I will see you in the next one.